From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, June the 9th, 2025. The remains of a hostage abducted during the Hamas massacre on October the 7th, murdered in captivity, were recovered in a special IDF operation this weekend. Thai national Natapong Pinta worked in agriculture, the IDF said, in kibbutz near Oz. He was held hostage for 610 days by terrorists in Gaza. His remains recovered in a special military operation in the area of Rafah. Israel's President Isaac Herzog mourned Pinta's loss, saying he left his wife and their young son in Thailand to work in agriculture in Israel, hoping to give them a better future. The president sharing in the sorrow, he wrote, of the family and the entire Thai people. Herzog said 55 hostages are still being held in the hell of captivity in Gaza in a horrific crime against humanity, and we must continue doing everything possible to bring every one of them home immediately until the last. The IDF said on Saturday that it eliminated the head of the Mujahideen terrorist organization in Gaza, saying he was one of the leaders of the October 7th massacre who infiltrated kibbutz near Oz on October the 7th and was directly involved in the abduction and murder of Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir Bibas, as well as of Natapong Pinta, and also took part in the abduction of Gad Chagai and Judy Weinstein Chagai, saying he was also responsible for recruiting terrorist operatives in Judea and Samaria and in Israel, advancing and carrying out terror attacks against Israel and IDF troops. And on Saturday, the IDF named the other 2 soldiers who were killed on Friday in Gaza when a booby-trapped building exploded, as we reported to you. They are 23-year-old Sergeant First Class Tom Rothstein and 20-year-old Staff Sergeant Uri Yonatan Cohen. Israeli forces late last night peacefully boarded and took control of a boat heading to Gaza. The Madeleine was carrying 12 activists and some aid organized by the anti-Israel Freedom Flotilla Coalition, attempting to breach the Gaza maritime zone. Among the passengers on board, Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg. After repeated calls to the boat to stop were ignored, Israeli troops boarded the vessel, where they handed out water and sandwiches to the passengers. Israel's official X platform called the boat the selfie yacht, as it is widely seen as a publicity stunt, and said it was now safely making its way to the shores of Israel, saying the passengers are safe and expected to return to their home countries, noting that the tiny amount of aid that wasn't consumed by the so-called celebrities, it wrote, will be transferred to Gaza through real humanitarian channels. Israel noting that more than 1,200 aid trucks have entered Gaza from Israel within the past 2 weeks, and that close to 11 million meals were transferred by the GHF directly to civilians in Gaza, saying there are ways to deliver aid to the Gaza Strip. They do not involve provocations and selfies. Thunberg, by the way, posted on Instagram after the Israeli forces boarded the boat, claiming that she and her boatmates had been kidnapped. The Hostage Families Forum posting in response footage from the abductions on October the 7th, writing, "Kidnapped? We know what kidnapping looks like." Well, thousands showed up on Sunday in Boulder, Colorado to show their support and solidarity with the Jewish community there, 1 week after the Run for Their Lives walk was attacked with firebombs. Crowds gathered as the Boulder Jewish Festival and Run for Their Lives held a special event in downtown Boulder calling for the release of the hostages. And here in New York as well, thousands gathered in Central Park in a show of solidarity also with Boulder, and also a call for the hostages' release. The 55 hostages still being held by terror group Hamas in Gaza have now been held for 612 days. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, June the 9th at 7 o'clock, Rabbi Elliot Cosgrove and Rabbi David Wolpe discuss the Jewish landscape post-October the 7th At 8, Abigail Pogrebin speaks with author David Kraemer to talk about his book, Embracing Exile, The Case for Jewish Diaspora. At 8:30, I speak with Daniel Robbins, the director of the film Bad Shabbos, the darkly hilarious comedy that explores family, faith, and the unpredictable nature of life. At 9, Danny Ayalon talks about the Six-Day War on the Chaim. At 10, David Harris speaks with David Collier. At 10:30, it's an encore of the news, and coming up next, it's Good Week Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, June the 9th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.